Now on 4 News Now at 6, crews in Spokane have not had much snow to clean up this winter. We'll show you the other projects they've been able to work on thanks to below average snowfall.
And the coldest weather of the season is just a couple of days away, plus how much more sunshine we could see later this week.
And a new scam alert from the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. The signs to look out for so you don't get tricked out of your hard-earned cash. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Let's take a look live at Division Street in downtown Spokane. So far, it has been a pretty easy winter for all of us who live here and drive to work with only a few days of snow, maybe those slippery conditions. That is because of our warmer than average temperatures. Even though these plows and their crews haven't been working much on their snow clearing magic around Spokane this year, they've still been out there plowing through other duties. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Derek Dice has the night off. It's a rare opportunity for our road crews to be able to handle other tasks during the winter here in the Inland Northwest. Our Hunter Bertram is live tonight. So what's changed for crews this winter, Hunter?
Yeah, Kirsten, well, it's as simple as they just haven't needed to think all that much about constantly clearing our roads of snow around the Spokane area this winter. And obviously, that's a big portion of what their job consists of during these winter months. And yes, they have been needing to go out and de-ice given the freezing fog we have, but they've been also filling potholes and tackling other tasks in the meantime.
Yeah, this is one of those winters that we in the road maintenance business dream of.
This is Matt Zarikor, a public works engineer for Spokane County.
Frankly, it's one of those years where we're getting snow in the mountains where we need it for the snowpack and for the skiers. But in the valleys, as everybody's seen, we're getting primarily rain, which is great.
Just as Zarikor said, we've all seen this somewhat dreary and some could even say boring winter weather. But on the flip side, it's allowed more road jobs to be done that typically hit a snag when snow falls.
So our staff is on 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. They monitor weather 24 hours a day. And they do other things when they don't need to plow or de-ice.
You know, things like fixing potholes, street sweeping, and maintaining guardrails and signage. It's similar to what the Washington Department of Transportation has done whenever they've got the chance this winter.
A lot of cable barrier repair, pothole repair, delineators, which are the guidepost markings.
So even if you haven't seen many snowplows this winter, just know that crews are still working hard to keep our roads safe and clear. Plus, lucky for us, taking care of those pesky potholes along the way.
And just to add, you know, this mild winter could possibly save tax money for both the city and Spokane County. Earlier today, Spokane County did tell me that they've only spent about a third of their winter budget. And they did say if, you know, temperatures and weather remains moderate as we go forward, that money saved could then be transferred over to other public work projects and road projects come spring and summer. So for now, live in Spokane, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, Hunter, thank you. Meteorologist Matt Gray is here now in for Chris Crocker. And Matt, we are about to see some very cold temperatures, but what about the snow?
Yeah, not looking like much of any snow here in the immediate future. So we continue on with the not so snowy winter, at least in the Spokane area. I gotta say though, we're playing with destiny here, talking about this. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, the more you talk about it.
You know, we're talking our talk, and we still have plenty of weeks to go here in the heart of the snow season. But you can see, I mean, we really have not seen a whole lot of snow so far in the Spokane area. We're below average in November. We were way below average in December, way more rain than snow. We've been doing a little better so far here about halfway through the month of January. It's been definitely more leaning towards snow instead of rain, but we've also had long periods of dry weather as well. We're in one of those right now, and this time is going to lead to some colder temperatures. You can see it has been very mild. Our coldest temperature in November in Spokane was only 26. Coldest in December was only 24. Coldest in January so far is only 27. That, friends, is about to change. Take a look at how fast things drop. By the way, these are not our low temperatures. These are our high temperatures. As we head into your Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, we are going to see our highs basically match our coldest lows in the Lilac City so far this year. So it is a big change. We're going to talk about who sees the coldest weather, when we'll really start to cool down in a more county by county view coming up in your full forecast.
We'll see you then, Matt. While the city of Spokane is saving some money on plowing the roads, the city is investing an additional $200,000 to make sure our most vulnerable are able to escape the cold. So far, the city has activated its inclement weather centers 35 times this winter, and that number will most likely go up with colder weather on the way. Alexandra Cohen shows us how one organization plans on putting that money to good use.
This is the first year that the Salvation Army has this inclement weather site underneath the Way Out shelter. The benefits are already showing.
It's certainly a good thing to be out of the weather and stay warm and stay alive.
Joe Perilla is one of the 11 who so far has made the move up from the Salvation Army's inclement weather site to their Way Out shelter above it.
It's like a family environment here, you know, and so like there's this compared to the street is like so much different.
The closure of the track shelter has reduced the number of beds available for extremely cold nights in Spokane. While the Salvation Army acknowledges this has been a challenge, it also sees a silver lining with the move of its inclement weather site to the Way Out building.
Way Out is a program that has levels of accountability built into it so that individuals are working towards next step solutions. But to have a low barrier option just below it gives us an opportunity to introduce folks upstairs.
If it were not for these $50,000 in contract amendments that the city approved on Monday, the Salvation Army says it might not have been able to keep its inclement weather site open through the rest of winter. Captain David Kane says there have been several nights this year they have had to turn people away due to the sheer volume of need in our community.
Our 25 beds fill up every single night. Just last night we turned away 3 individuals just because we didn't have space, and that is common and regular.
Joe is one of the fortunate ones who made it in. He now gets basic needs like a warm bed, food, and most importantly, a sense of hope.
Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that there's going to be a day where I don't, you know, where I can take care of myself.
In Spokane, Alexandra Cohen, 4 News Now.
Well, the Salvation Army is also helping bring people to warming shelters with its street-level van. In addition to transportation, the organization gives people care packages filled with blankets, hand warmers, and food, all assembled by volunteers.
It changes their whole attitude. They're like, oh man, thank you. We really appreciate that. No one stopped. No one's give us anything. No one's even talked to us.
Garcia, who you just heard from there, says multiple times a week his job is more difficult because there are no open shelter beds to send people to. And when this happens, he opens his truck to give people at least a minute to warm up, a care package, but then he is forced to send them on their way. The Sheriff's Department wants people to be aware of yet another scam. This one involves a phone call with an impersonation of law enforcement officers. Madeline Mullins has more on what to look out for and what to do if you get one of these calls.
It seems like scams are getting more and more sophisticated, and this one is no different. In this scam, scammers are using computer programs to make it look like the phone number that is showing up on your screen is a number that is associated with either the Sheriff's Office or the Spokane Valley Police Department. Once the scammers get a hold of you, they claim to be a law enforcement officer, let you know that you're in legal trouble for things like unpaid fines or missed jury duty, and threaten to intimidate you into paying them immediately. But there are ways to tell you that this is a scam.
It's something that law enforcement does. We're not going to call and demand payment and say that, you know, that you're going to be under arrest if you don't make this payment immediately.
Other things to look for are if they're asking for payment through prepaid credit cards, cryptocurrency, or some unusual form of payment. And if they are leaving you a voicemail and asking you to call back on a number you don't recognize. And if you do find yourself on the phone with one of these scammers, you should hang up and not engage. Look up the correct number for the police department or the sheriff's office and give them a call and see if they were trying to get a hold of you, and never give out personal or banking information over the phone. In studio, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
All right, Madeline, thank you. Today, Washington Governor Jay Inslee gave his final State of the State address. During his speech, he thanked Washingtonians for trusting him to lead the state and said how impressed he was by their strength and determination.
I woke up every morning these last 12 years asking how I could help Washingtonians realized their dreams. And every morning I was filled with confidence in the genius, the compassion, and the grand ambitions of our great state of Washington.
We will have more on Inslee's address tonight at 6:30. Still ahead, while the 2026 World Cup takes center stage in Seattle, soccer fans in the Inland Northwest won't miss out on all the action. We'll show you how Spokane is getting in on the fun as one of the official fan zone cities coming up in about 30 minutes. And big changes could be coming to one North Spokane intersection. How reducing it by one lane is meant to help cut down on the number of crashes coming up after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV. Sign up for the 4 News Now Brainstorm at KXLY.com.
The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power on board to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Hi, I'm Todd, president of Pacific Bath. It's a new year, and what better time to update your shower space with a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower installed in just 2 days or less. Jason?
Thanks, Todd. The Kohler Luxstone shower is now so popular that we're starting out 2025 with the biggest savings of the year. $2,025 off a new Kohler Luxstone shower. Homeowners have trusted the Kohler brand for more than 150 years. Plus, Pacific Bath provides a down-to-the-penny price backed by Kohler's lifetime limited warranty. So call now during our New Year New Shower Sale. Remember, we're starting 2025 by offering $2,025 off a new Kohler Luxstone shower. Plus, no payments and no interest for 12 months. That's right, $2,025 off and no payments and no interest for 12 months. But this offer is only for a limited time, so call now.
Canopy Village is working to combat homelessness in North Idaho by providing safe, temporary housing and services to those in need. Their goal is to help families transition from crisis to stability.
We believe everyone deserves a place to call home. Canopy Village is here to not only provide shelter, but also to offer hope and guidance towards a path of a brighter future.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to donate $1,000 to Canopy Village. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
The Ford F-150 redefines working remotely. There's a desk inside the cab, a tailgate work surface out back, and available Pro Power on board to plug in what you need. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Welcome back. The city of Spokane has 2 different plans to reduce the number of crashes at a dangerous intersection in the Emerson-Garfield neighborhood. Let's give you a look. Neighbors that live right near this intersection of Washington and Buckeye say they've seen several accidents over the past few years. Derek Strom spoke with one neighbor who spent thousands repairing his property after multiple crashes.
But about 6 months into living here, in the middle of the night, a car flew through Washington, straight through the intersection, and instead of curving a little bit, they went straight through our yard, straight through our fence.
Thousands of dollars and 2 fences later, Caleb Hutchins and his wife say they still enjoy living in their neighborhood, but living right next to the intersection of Washington and Buckeye makes them worry for their own safety. They've seen 2 crashes in the past 2 years that damaged their property, and they're hoping the city will step in before anything else happens.
Our fence guy likes us because we have repeat business for him, but that's what it's like living on this intersection.
The city of Spokane's thinking about making some big changes to the intersection of Washington and Buckeye here in the Emerson-Garfield neighborhood. Those changes would include still letting drivers travel northbound on that side of the street, but it could include blocking off the southbound side of the street in order to prevent more accidents. The city's plan would be to build a curb that extends out to completely block the southbound lane for half a block. The city has a separate plan to completely block off both lanes using concrete planters.
We like the blocking off the intersection plan. I think that would solve a lot of the problems, but any kind of action is better than what the current situation is.
Another neighbor that lives further down the street believes putting up more signage to alert drivers could solve the problem. She doesn't believe blocking off one of the exits from the neighborhood is the right solution. The Spokane City Council isn't likely to vote on any of the proposed plans until the spring, and construction wouldn't start before early summer. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, with the sunshine today, temperatures got up a little bit. We're still at 36 in 9 Mile in Spokane Valley. I think we'll see some numbers that start with 4 on the board here tomorrow, as I expect a little bit more hours of sun. We'll talk about that and that chilly weather that's on the way after this.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mystiqua Casino Hotel in Chewelah.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. And want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
Injured in a car wreck?
Insurance company giving you the runaround?
Delays, excuses, and lowball offers.
Don't get hurt twice.
Get twice the help.
Call 800-LAW-0842.
When it comes to your health, put yourself in the driver's seat. As an older adult, you're at higher risk for severe flu and COVID. In fact, people 65 and older who didn't get last season's vaccines were twice as likely to wind up in the hospital. But you hold the key. Be ready for the road ahead by getting your updated flu and COVID vaccines. Risk less. Do more.
For the greatest selection at the lowest prices, come to Cost Less Carpet.
As a general contractor, I bring my clients to Cost Less Carpet so they can see every option.
Everything I need is always in stock.
If it's trendy or new, I'm sure you'll find it here.
And their team of designers are so fun to work with.
It really is worth the experience.
I can find everything for my home or my client's home. No problem.
Shopping here is an awesome experience.
Cost Less Carpet, where inspiration and ideas happen.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
Tee off in style at Circling Ravens' top-tier golf suites. Play more than 80 famous golf courses around the world. It's a hole-in-one for all skill levels. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
All right, thanks for watching 4 News Now at 6. Enjoy some sunshine and some mild temperatures tomorrow, because it does look, as we head towards the second half of January, things are going to feel a little bit more wintry out there during this mild winter season we've had thus far. Look for more patchy morning fog. You'll need the ice scrapers and defrosters again, and more sun in the afternoon. I actually think it's going to clear out a little bit earlier tomorrow, and so that means more hours of soaking in that sunshine. Colder weather coming in. You'll really start to notice it starting on Friday. We'll stay pretty mild for Thursday, and we'll also not see much, if anything, in the way of precipitation. Temperatures tonight going to match, well, some of the colder weather that we have seen so far this month. Not that that's saying all that much. Methow Valley down to about 7 degrees. We'll see areas of patchy fog. I expect us to cool off pretty rapidly tonight with the mostly clear skies around the region. And then once we drop down to where we start to see that fog developing. Then we'll kind of just hover around the same temperature there for the rest of the night. Look at all these 40s on the board here across north central Idaho and into the Palouse region. Would not surprise me if we saw maybe a couple 41s, 42s, 43s in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene corridor with this extra sunshine. So, hey, you know what? That is some pretty nice January weather. We'll take it. Now, let's fast forward to Thursday. Temperature's a little bit cooler, but overall, not a whole lot of change, with the exception of it'll be a little bit cloudier. But watch what happens as we head into Thursday evening, and that first round of cold air starts to come in from the north. Look at Bonners Ferry by 7 o'clock, down into the teens, low 20s in Colville, as that first wave comes in. If we see any sort of snow, it's going to be during this particular period where we may see a snow flurry or two, especially in our northern mountains and as you work your way down towards Lookout Pass throughout the night. Now, as we wake up on Friday morning, you've got middle and low teens across the northern tier. You've got 20s, but in some cases, some of the coolest 20-degree odd temperatures we've seen so far this winter season around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And then the Arctic push comes as we head into Saturday. So by Saturday morning, you have got sub-zero temperatures or single-digit temperatures across western Montana. Some of that cold air leaks over into North Idaho, and so we'll have a chance for some single-digit lows as early as Saturday morning, although I think it's going to be much more likely heading into Sunday and then especially into Monday in our northern communities, where we'll have those coldest temperatures of the season thus far. Things start to warm up as we head into Tuesday, but coming up at 6:30, I'll tell you why this may just be the start of a colder pattern.
All right, Matt, we'll see you then. Starbucks just announced it is ending its open door policy. This means the coffee chain will no longer welcome visitors unless they purchase something or are with someone who is buying. It's a stark reversal of the chain's long-standing policy to allow anyone into its cafes or to use the bathroom. The new policy, which calls for workers to ask non-customers to leave, takes effect January 27th. Well, stick with us here on 4 News Now at 6. We'll explain why the man in charge of investigating President-elect Donald Trump's involvement in the January 6th riot says he had enough to convict Trump had he not been reelected. That is after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Your home is more than a place, it's a feeling, a reflection of who you are. And at the Tin Roof, we believe furniture should do more than fill a room. It should inspire it. From timeless dining tables to sofas you can sink into and decor that tells your story, every piece is thoughtfully curated to make your space feel effortlessly you. Because it's not just furniture, it's where memories are made, where comfort lives, and where life happens. It's more than furniture, it's a feeling.
Look who it is. Back to mommy you go.
Jake, this isn't our dog.
No?
You never got new glasses, did you?
Well, you didn't know Stanton Optical makes eye care easy.
Exactly. Sorry, and you were?
Nervous? 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam, $79, all same day. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Tomorrow will be a delicious competition.
Good morning, America.
2 of America's favorite bagel shops going head-to-head.
Soft and delicious.
In the GMA Bagel Battle. Plus, Keke Palmer live, reuniting with Michael tomorrow on GMA.
Get ready for the largest national RV show ever this Thursday through Monday at the downtown Spokane Convention Center. Multiple RV dealers, countless manufacturers, and unbeatable deals. Shop Brinkley, Grand Design, Jayco, Bigfoot, and more. All the newest travel trailers, toy haulers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. And all with massive manufacturers discounts. Free admission, live music, adult beverages, family fun, scavenger hunts. And you could win a new RV. Doors open 9 a.m. Thursday at the downtown Spokane Convention Center. Schedule a free VIP tour at nationalrvshow.com.
I've been dealing with my weight issues for all my life. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay home and just be a couch potato. I wanted to have a fresh start. Spokane Wellness Group has helped me stay on track. When I started losing the weight, then I felt more comfortable. I feel wonderful right now because I've lost 65 pounds. It doesn't take me 10 minutes to walk across the parking garage anymore. I would encourage anybody to go to the Spokane Wellness Group. They stay with you every step of the way.
70% of Washington jobs require education beyond high school, and that number is on the rise. Free or low-cost college or career training is possible for your child. Apply now and ensure there's a more lucrative and stable career in their future. Learn how at wogrant.org.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
Welcome back. We are 6 days away from President-elect Donald Trump taking office. Today, House Speaker Mike Johnson announced flags at the Capitol will fly at full staff on Inauguration Day. They will then be lowered to half staff again following the next day to continue the 30-day mourning period for the death of former President Jimmy Carter. While the president-elect prepares to take office, he may need to consider a new pick for Secretary of Defense. His current nominee was grilled on Capitol Hill over allegations of sexual misconduct and alcohol abuse. Allegations he denies. ABC's Perry Russum has the details.
The cheers for Pete Hegseth as he walked before the Senate Armed Services Committee.
Force will remove members.
Met by protesters as the veteran and former TV host works to become the next Secretary of Defense.
People that really know me know where my heart's at. It's with the guys in this audience who've had my back, and I've had theirs.
President-elect Trump's nominee has been shadowed by allegations of sexual misconduct, alcohol abuse, and financial mismanagement. Allegations he denies.
There was a coordinated smear campaign orchestrated in the media against us.
According to a police report obtained by ABC News, a woman accused Hegseth of sexual assault in 2017. No charges were filed. His attorney says he settled with the woman in order to keep his job. Hegseth calls the encounter consensual.
But you acknowledge that you cheated on your wife and that you cheated on the woman by whom you had just fathered a child. You have admitted that. I will allow your words to speak for themselves. You're not retracting that today. That's good.
There are also questions about if Hegseth is qualified for the role. He has never led a large organization.
I know I've never run an organization of 3 million people with a budget of $850 billion. But what I do know is that I've led men and women. I've led people.
Hegseth has said women should not serve in combat roles. He has recently changed his stance. His confirmation could come down to Republican Senator Joni Ernst, a combat veteran and survivor of sexual assault.
Will you support women continuing to have the opportunity to serve in combat roles?
Yes, women will have access to ground combat roles, given the standards remain high.
Hegseth says he wants to restore the warrior ethos to the Pentagon and reestablish trust in our military. He says he has dedicated his life to the warfighters. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Well, a new report says that Donald Trump would have been convicted on multiple felonies for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election if he was not reelected. Special counsel Jack Smith suggesting that his evidence against Trump was overwhelming, saying over 250 witnesses agreed to voluntarily be interviewed, with 55 appearing before a grand jury. Smith believes Trump was directly involved in inciting the violence on January 6th. Trump has maintained innocence, claiming that he wanted his supporters' actions to be peaceful. The president calling the investigation politically motivated.
This is prosecutorial misconduct, and its primary purpose is to steal another election.
Smith calling any allegations that his investigation was controlled by the Biden administration, quote, laughable. Trump's legal team tried to block the release of the report Monday, but a judge who was nominated by Trump rejected their request. Still ahead, Spokane has been named an official fan zone for the 2026 World Cup. Hear about the fun events coming to the area to celebrate the biggest sporting event on the planet. Plus, what Washington Governor Jay Inslee said during his farewell address that made some lawmakers walk out.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Surf and turf. Surf and turf. Low and slow and roasty beef. 2 of those things for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
You'll never get away with this.
You can make it all go away.
Seriously, you think I can pull a $130,000 Escalade out of my sack?
Maybe try a little Christmas magic or whatever.
It's a little late for that.
What you doing? There's a better way to score an Escalade. Play daily, only at Northern Quest.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Get 0.9% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $4,200 in average finance savings.
See your local GMC dealer.
Choosing a bathroom remodeler is a big decision. Pacific Bath is your trusted Kohler Luckstone shower dealer, providing a down-to-the-penny price backed by Kohler's lifetime limited warranty. Kohler is a global leader, celebrating more than 150 years designing American-engineered custom bathing solutions. Call now during our New Year New Shower Sale. Receive $2,025 off a new Kohler Luckstone shower, plus no payments, no interest for 12 months.
Surf and turf. 2 sandwiches. The sea giveth crispy fish. Oh, ho, 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 ho. For $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Washington Governor Jay Inslee gave his final State of the State address in Olympia today. He talked about his accomplishments over the past 12 years and what challenges still lie ahead. Murrow News fellow Albert James shows us the advice Inslee gave to lawmakers and what made some walk out of the speech.
Thank you. Thank you.
Governor Jay Inslee took a fond look back on his 12 years in office Tuesday.
And in this moment, our moment, I see a state that is evergreen and ever going forward.
Speaking to a joint session of the legislature for the last time as governor, Inslee cited action on climate protections, abortion rights, and education as some hallmark successes of his time in office.
There's more work to do, of course, but these accomplishments, I believe, should give us full confidence for the next steps. We keep moving forward. We pull together, because we are the state of Washington.
Inslee also spoke about the projected $12 billion deficit over the next 4 years. He previously proposed a $2 billion spending reduction and new taxes, telling legislators Tuesday anything deeper could do great harm. His successor, Bob Ferguson, previously spoke of making over $4 billion in spending cuts.
We have a strong economy, so why would we consider cuts to programs like housing or mental and behavioral health services at a time like this?
The outgoing governor also talked about the incoming Trump administration.
Our state will work with anyone on policies that are positive for Washington, but we will not bend the knee to a would-be authoritarian's worst impulses. We will follow the Constitution.
That remark triggered some Republican lawmakers to walk out of the chamber. Inslee closed by asking legislators to keep the same sense of optimism, confidence, and hope as they serve the people.
To Washington, I bid you fair winds and following seas. Thank you.
On Wednesday, Washington will have a new governor for the first time in 12 years. Bob Ferguson will be sworn in as Washington's 24th governor in the morning, followed by a big inaugural ball here at the state capitol later in the evening. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Well, tomorrow, President Joe Biden will also bid farewell as he prepares to become a private citizen once again on Monday. You can watch his farewell address right here on ABC starting at 5 o'clock. The Ponderay Public Utility District is getting $1 million to help restore Medellin Falls water system. The funding will support the replacement of a damaged 12-inch pipe, the aging water line, and stabilization of the hillside that collapsed because of a water main rupture back in October. That hillside failure disrupted water service for 200 customers. Crews were able to install bypass lines, but were never meant to be a permanent solution. Repairs are expected to be complete by June. Let's send it over now to meteorologist Matt Gray with your first alert forecast.
All right. Thank you, Kirsten. And if you enjoyed some of that sunshine that came out today, tomorrow is looking even better. Yes, there will be some fog and some cloudiness in the morning, but you know what? It's winter. That is pretty much a given at almost any day that doesn't involve stormy conditions. However, I expect that fog to lift and the clouds to dissipate earlier on in the day, and that means a good portion of the day in the sunshine. It also means our temperatures are going to go up quite a bit here as well. I'm expecting upper 30s and low 40s for the afternoon tomorrow. That is really going to be something. Here's your lows for tonight. Going to be chilly again in the Methow Valley, down to single digits. Elsewhere, 20s, a few spots only down to the 30s, like the LC Valley and Grand Coulee. And there are those 40s that we mentioned. Not going to be anything too crazy on the map, but hey, some 40s here in mid-January, especially with what's coming up in the forecast, is going to feel pretty good. Same with that sunshine as well. The coldest weather of the season we've had so far in this mild winter is just around the corner. We're going to start to feel it on Friday, and then as we head into the holiday weekend, things are really going to start to get chilly. More on that coming up.
All right, Matt, see you later. During last night's meeting, the Central Valley School District passed a resolution to support House Bill 1085. That's the bill that would increase the penalties for acts of violence towards school referees. If signed into law, anyone convicted could be hit with a $1,000 fine and up to almost a year in jail. To see what other penalties students and parents could face, look for this story now on KXLY.com. Well, Spokane is now a designated fan zone for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Seattle is one of the host cities for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and today it chose Spokane and 8 other cities across the state to help them celebrate. Marissa Rio tells us what a fan zone will look like.
Spokane, with open arms, will welcome this opportunity.
Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown was filled with elation as our city was announced a 2026 FIFA World Cup fan zone. As the city prepares to ignite excitement for the world's largest sporting event, officials say they are still in the beginning stages of planning.
This is going to be tremendous for our kids and families. We are making an all-in investment on them with playing fields and opportunities.
Fan zones can include live entertainment, activities, and more. The city says it is also hoping to stream games like here at the Pavilion or other places to bring more of the community together. United Soccer League Spokane, which fields 2 of our city's professional soccer teams, says it can't wait to support the fan zone.
We're excited to watch our players who represent a variety of different countries, support their country and follow this soccer journey. And it'll be cool to see the little kids who now, have a first taste of that and they get to be involved too. So I think as a whole, it's uniting Spokane because it's bringing us all together to support an incredible sporting event.
Riley Harnato says this is a big deal for any sports fan in our community, and they're excited to get involved and maybe host a couple watch parties. Spokane may also have another role in the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
We are also in competition as a proposed base camp for one of the teams. So we've got our fingers crossed. Thank you.
The Seattle FIFA World Cup 26 local organizing committee said we'll know whether a team selects Spokane as a base camp during spring of next year. In Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Jack and I just talking about how exciting that is.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. It's great to see soccer just getting bigger and bigger all across the country.
Yeah, great news for all of us sports fans. Washington State men and women's basketball, though, didn't fare too well against the Zags last weekend. Both Coug teams dropping their WCC rivalry games.
Yeah, now they take this week to take a deep breath and reset for a pair of conference games coming up this week. Hear more from the Coug women after the break on how they manage WCC travel schedule.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Gold Seal Plumbing.
Bad back? Get Good Feet with the personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store. Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good feet, good life. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
When it comes to taking care of your car, trust the family-owned service department that puts you first. At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we don't just fix cars, we keep your family safe on the road. With no hidden fees or surprise charges, you'll always know exactly what you're paying for. And with us, you only pay a 6% tax on parts, never on labor. Come to Coeur d'Alene Honda, where quality service meets honest pricing every time. Call us to schedule an appointment today.
The heart work of Joya is that they come in and they don't just see a diagnosis. They don't see a child with Down syndrome. They see a child who is worth investing in, because it's not just about what that child's going to do today or tomorrow. It's about where their life is going to go. Being connected to Joya just gives you a sense that you're not alone. Joya is not just there for Elliot. Joya is there for the whole family.
Ready to enjoy a vacation close to home? Come stay for less and play for more at the Kootenai Casino. Right now, cozy up in a Kootenai Falls Lodge room for just $59 midweek and $89 on the weekends. An incredible bang for your buck. Join us in January at the Kootenai Casino and win this winter. Book your stay and play now. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Papa Murphy's new cheesy stuffed crust pizza. It's what stuffed crust pizza should be. Hot, melty, and fresh from your oven. Starting at $13.99.
Next, ET, how's your relationship with your parents today?
It's complicated.
Our Ginger Duggar Volo exclusive. At home with a former reality star expecting baby number 3. Next, ET.
Watch Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Will Trent is back. GBI! For its most dramatic season yet.
They took his daughter.
If we screw up this case, a cop killer walks free.
Your daughter is coming home alive.
Help me.
New Will Trent, tonight on ABC.
Washington State basketball did not accomplish a pair of upsets over Gonzaga. In fact, both men and women teams suffered losses, men in Spokane and women in Pullman, but there were many lessons learned and likely one of the hardest remaining games of the year for both teams. Washington State had beaten Gonzaga in their last 2 games, women's, the meeting in 2023 and 2021, but that good fortune did not carry over as the Zags won 69-61 through a dominant day on the boards, especially out-rebounding the Cougs 45-22. Head coach Kemi Etheridge spoke on that effort, mentioning how momentum shifted so heavily in the past couple games, especially due to the WCC travel calendar.
It's so easy to get a couple of wins and then feel good about yourself with a young team and then come out and a little flat-footed and not as physical as we need to be. You know, they had the advantage of sitting around all week and getting ready just for one game, and that will get that advantage next time we play them. But the travel, all of it, maybe just not quite as on edge as we needed to be.
WSU has a lot to build on. They forced 22 Zag turnovers and shot the ball incredibly in the third quarter, but fell off in the fourth. Cougs returned to action against the San Francisco Dons, a team WSU is a perfect 7-0 all-time against, last winning both sets of a home-and-home in 2021 and 22. Tip-off in California set for 6 p.m. this Thursday. Washington State men's basketball licking their wounds this week after back-to-back losses that couldn't really be more different in the box score or in the eye test. An inexplicable home overtime upset loss to Pacific, followed by a much more predictable loss, to be frank, at Gonzaga, likely one of their easiest and then hardest conference matchups, at least on paper. So now comes 2 games that should be a bit simpler. At San Diego and then home against Portland, 2 teams with terrible records both overall and in conference. The Cougs and Toreros have only met 4 times in 4 different locations, only one at either home, and then the home team winning each time. Then a Coug win in Alaska in 2009, followed by a USC win in 2018 Las Vegas. Tip-off is this Thursday at 7. Another day, another former Jackrabbit committing to Washington State football. Matt Jacobs of South Dakota State joined the Cougs today after 3 straight years leading their strength and conditioning. And over the last 15 years, he spent time at Temple, Western Illinois, and Northern Illinois. Jacobs is far from the first SDSU coach to come to WSU as defensive coordinator, cornerback coach, safeties coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, O-line coach, running back, tight end, and wide receiver coaches, and even the head of staff just today, all joining the Cougs. Safe to say it's going to look a whole lot like Brookings in Pullman this season. Spokane Chiefs have a few bit of news today. Chiefs forward Shea Van Olm locking in his college commitment to Penn State Nittany Lions. He follows Braden Crampton as the 2 Spokane players off to an NCAA school so far. Van Olm's WHL eligibility ends at the conclusion of this season, so he'll head off to PSU after. Forwards Owen Martin, Asanali Sarkinov, and defenseman Owen Schottler also making the NHL Central Scouting midterm rankings, prepping for the NHL entry draft. The 3 were among 66 other WHL players chosen. Spokane coming off a 12-2 road throttling of the Wenatchee Wild and stick on the road tomorrow night against the Kelowna Rockets. Chiefs took the first 2 games against those Rockets, but then fell 6-5 in overtime in their last meeting. Puck drop is tomorrow at 7:05 p.m. in Prospera Place. And so these Chiefs, they're winners of 3 of their last 4, coming to this matchup red hot before coming back at home for a long stretch. They then have 5 in a row at Spokane Arena starting this Friday. I still haven't been as a fan yet.
Yeah, we got to go.
And I really got to go to a game. It would be so much fun. It's just, love me some hockey.
Same. I have not gone to as many as I'd like, and every single time I go, I think I need to do this every week when they're in town, like you said, for many weeks in a row. All right, Jack, thank you. Hey, around the nation tonight, high winds initially forecast to threaten the fire zones in Southern California are lighter than expected, and this has allowed fire crews to continue to try and contain the flames. In the case of the 2 largest fires, both are still less than 40% contained 1 week into the nonstop battle. CNN's Maribel Gonzalez explains how fire crews plan on battling the fire moving forward.
More than 80,000 people have been displaced by these fires that we now know have collectively burned through an area larger than the city of Paris in France. Right now, police, the National Guard, blocking the streets out to these neighborhoods, people unable to return to their homes who are under those evacuation orders. But when they do, this is the scene that they will be facing. Their houses burned to the ground, debris, rubble, and ashes, and also their cars that they left behind as they were desperately trying to flee to safety, now completely charred.
Everybody here urges you to remain alert as danger has not yet passed.
This as fire crews have gained a foothold on the multiple fronts Tuesday. As of midday, the Hearst fire was at 97% contained, the Eaton at 35%, and the Palisades at 17%. A 4th ignition, the Auto fire, started near Ventura Monday night. At last check, it had burned over 50 acres as fire crews work to contain it.
We have approximately 88,000 residents that are still under evacuation orders.
2 other critical issues, power outages and water access in the Eaton fire area.
The necessary public safety power shutoffs are going to prevent our next fire from starting if we have down power lines. Additionally, we have checked the water system in the Eaton fire area and it is operational.
There was slightly hopeful news today from search and rescue efforts in burn zones.
The good news was that no other remains were found yesterday.
And talks of reopening neighborhoods to residents are moving forward slowly.
Repopulation conversations are absolutely active and ongoing. I don't want people to start thinking everything's okay now. Everything's not okay yet.
It's that yet that firefighters are battling to get closer to today.
Firefighters will continue to work tirelessly throughout the day to increase containment lines, prevent further spread, and address any flare-ups.
Right now, firefighters are trying to get a leg up on these fires. They're in the air as we speak, doing those aerial drops. Now, as far as the cause of the fires, that is still under investigation. Reporting in Altadena, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
In the House, lawmakers passed a bill that would block transgender athletes from competing in women's and girls' sports at federally funded schools. House Speaker Mike Johnson saying this bill is not meant to target the trans community, but rather to protect women and girls.
It's biology, and biology is not bigotry, as we say. Anyone who would accuse the supporters of this legislation otherwise is ill-informed. This is to protect.
The bill now heads to the Senate next, where Republicans have a very narrow majority. That means at least 7 Democrats would have to vote with Republicans for the bill to receive the 60 votes it needs to clear the filibuster and ultimately receive a vote.
We'll be looking at more patchy fog in your forecast for the morning, but also a good amount of sunshine, and there'll be more sunshine later this week. It's just going to be cold sunshine with some of the coldest weather of the season thus far. We'll talk about how long that cold pattern could last coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Discover the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester at Parker Subaru.
Built with quality engineering, advanced safety, and off-road capabilities, the Forester remains one of Motor Trend's top-ranked compact SUVs. Drive with confidence in any weather with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive.
Make parking a breeze with the 360-degree surround view monitor. The 2025 Subaru Forester, ready for any adventure.
See the all-new Subaru Forester at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Did you know that Washington's Working Families Tax Credit could put up to $1,200 back in your pocket? If you're part of a low to moderate income household, you could be eligible for a refund designed to help you cover essentials like groceries, gas, or bills. The best part? Applying is free and easy. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov to see if you qualify. Don't miss out. Apply now and make sure you get the refund you deserve. That's workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Are you struggling to get through the day? Are you experiencing chronic pain, burning, numbness, and tingling in your hands or feet? Pay attention, because you are probably experiencing peripheral neuropathy. The most common symptoms are numbness, burning, muscle cramps, and problems with balance. Neuropathy is treatable, and our office can help. It's time to get real results. Pick up your phone and call us right now. If you're one of the first 25 callers, you'll receive a free nerve damage screening. This nerve damage screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious nerve damage and if you're qualified for our cutting-edge treatment program to stop the nerve damage. Don't wait until it's too late and your symptoms get so bad that you lose your freedom and are restricted to a wheelchair, walker, or need amputation. Call now to be one of the first 25 callers to receive a free nerve damage screening. Hurry, call now to find out if you qualify for our free nerve damage screening and see how we can change your life. It's time to feel better. Call today.
It's the region's largest boat show. 10 days of boats, unbeatable deals, and nonstop fun. Explore the region's largest showroom. Unbeatable pricing. Discover better boats, the largest selection of inventory, and the biggest savings, all under one roof. See the latest models from top brands like Cobalt, Malibu, Axis, Regal, Barletta, Cruisers Yachts, Harris, and Chris Craft. Plus an incredible selection of pre-owned boats. The Coeur d'Alene Boat Expo, January 30th through February 8th. A 10-day event you don't want to miss.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Brainstorm at KXLY.com.
Well, I'm pretty sure we just had a boat show commercial. Let's slow it down here. It's still winter. We're about to feel like winter, even though it hasn't really felt all that cold so far. So for the last 75 years, this particular winter, November 1st to today's date, second warmest on the Spokane climate record here. So yeah, it's been pretty mild. All that about to change here over the next few days. Our coldest temperature so far in Spokane is 24 degrees for this winter season. That happened all the way back in early December. Well, here's our highs for the next few days. We're gonna end up tying our current coldest low temperature for the winter season with our high temperature for Sunday. So yeah, it's going to be some pretty cold air that's coming in. Our average up here in the mid-30s here, and so this is going to be quite a change, even though this is not nearly as an extreme amount of cold as we've seen with previous kind of Arctic blasts over the last couple of winters that have really caused some problems. Now, this is not going to be a full-on Arctic invasion. Instead, the sub-zero cold is going to stay over in western Montana, but as we head especially into Sunday morning and Monday morning, we'll have a good chance here across places like Shoshone County into northeast Washington and the North Idaho Panhandle, the northern Panhandle communities to see temperatures in the single digits. And we'll be looking for potentially as cold as the low teens around the greater Spokane and Coeur d'Alene region. So still definitely on the chilly side, no matter which way you slice it here. But this could just be the start of things. This is only going to last for about 3 or 4 days before we start moving up again. So by kind of this time next week, we'll already be on the track towards milder weather. However, the overall weather pattern, according to the NOAA Climate Prediction Center, looks like it's going to remain favorable for more outbreaks of cold air into late January and then into early February. So this may not be the last round of wintry weather, and it looks like maybe our winter might end up being a little backloaded when it comes to snow and cold. So here is next week. That first Arctic outbreak that we'll be just on the edge of moves over to the East Coast. Another round of cold air tries to drop down into the northern plains. And then if this doesn't look like a classic Arctic outbreak 3-4 weeks out in the long-range climate models, I don't know what is. So just something to keep in mind here, especially because all the data is pointing towards one thing, which is that things are going to be a little bit more wintry for the rest of this month, and then as we head into February. So will we have a backloaded winter? Well, that remains to be seen, but these colder temperatures means we're definitely moving at least closer to that direction, Kirsten. It's going to be interesting.
Got to pay attention. Thank you, Matt. Before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Your alarm goes off.
That's when we come online.
We're on with what's new this morning. What's happening now.
And what's next for you?
Breaking news you need to know now.
The latest weather for you.
And your family, so you're all ready for the day.
Get what's new now and next at 5 and 6 a.m.
Right here.
And right here at 7A. Because we're on all morning long. Good morning, America.
Good morning, Spokane.
Good morning, Northwest and GMA.
That's when we come online.
Attention, Washington homeowners. Time is running out to call Pacific Bath during our New Year New Shower Sale for $2,025 off a new Kohler Luckstone shower. Kohler is an industry leader with more than 150 years in business. And the Kohler Luckstone shower is installed in 2 days or less, backed with Kohler's lifetime limited warranty, featuring modern crushed stone walls, plus shower doors with clean coat glass for easy cleaning. And now's your last chance during this program to take advantage of our New Year New Shower Sale. Kick off 2025 with $2,025 off a new Kohler Luckstone shower. And remember, this is your last chance to call during this program for no payments and no interest for 12 months. Throughout the greater Spokane area, call Pacific Bath at 509-361-6674. That's 509-361-6674.
Looking for a great time to put Mohawk's Redwood scratch-resistant flooring in your home? Well, this month, we are taking 20% off of installation on Redwood products. So you can have the beauty of wood for less at Brothers Flooring.
National RV Show starts Thursday. Spokane Convention Center. Manufacturers coming from across the country. Grand Design, Jayco, and more. Live bands, adult beverages, bank on site, indoors and warm. NationalRVShow.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Grins and Giggles Family Dentistry.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, comfort foods may bring quick but temporary relief during your bad day, but they can also have a significant impact on your brain. How to trick your mind into developing healthier habits tonight at 11.
Oh boy. Well, that hit a little too close to home. All right, here's your planning forecast. Gonna need the gloves and the hats and everything else that maybe we've kind of gotten to ignore so far this winter season as we see those temperatures cool down. As you notice here, not much chances for snow, so at the very least, it's gonna be cold, but roads should be doing pretty well.
Yeah, good for the morning. All right, we'll see you at 11.